Alright, speculation time, baby. That's right, Bruce is at it again, teasing us with things of the future that we are gonna definitely way overthink. So for those who don't know, Iron Maiden recently released a video that's kind of just catching up with Bruce on the current tour. And halfway through, he says this.
How has it been so far? We're halfway through the tour. First of all, I can't even believe we're halfway through the tour. That's just ridiculous. It seems like we're only just getting started. And in fact we are, but that's another story for later. Yes, spoiler alert.
Was showing that, surprise to nobody, the tour that was scheduled to go into 2026 is indeed going into 2026. But along with that, we got this.
We've got all these great shows ahead of us, and a lot more stuff ahead of us I can't talk about, except if I did, they'd have to kill me.
More shows coming up, absolutely, but more things he can't talk about? That's where we shine. Now, I'm just gonna say, when Bruce started teasing things for 2025, one of the things I did say was a 50th anniversary tour, and don't you know it? They're currently doing 50th anniversary tour, so we're gonna take another stab at speculations. So before we really get into the video, I just want to stop and say, right before I started filming, I got the news that Ozzy Osbourne died. It's obvious that his health hasn't been in great shape for a long time, and him and Black Sabbath just did their farewell show, but still catching the news was both wild and unexpected. So with that, I'm thrilled Ozzy got to do his final farewell to both the bands he's been a part of for over 50 years of his career, and, well, to all of us. So Ozzy Osbourne, thank you for everything you brought to this world. Metal as we know it probably wouldn't exist as it is without you or Black Sabbath. Rest in peace. So new cool stuff Bruce Dickinson can't talk about, but Iron Maiden will be doing in the future. It'd be easy to call this a 2026 speculation video, but truthfully, I think it's going to be a 2027 speculation video, because I think what is being planned in the Iron Maiden headquarters is a bit more than just more shows. Which to me comes down to one of two things. One, more touring, which obviously, but two, I think it's going to be a new album. One thing we have talked about on the channel is the idea that the Run For Your Lives tour goes into 2027, 2028 as a X Factor to Senjutsu tour, focusing on the newer half of the discography of the 50 years of Iron Maiden. I think it'd be really cool, but frankly, I think that'd be a bit of a hard sell. Because despite there's a lot of fans that would love to hear stuff from Brave New World, Dance to Death, A Matter of Life and Death, probably Book of Souls, and Final Frontier again, I do think there's a lot of people who are going to read the X Factor and then kind of not get into it. Especially since it was labeled X Factor to Senjutsu, then that means it's going to be doing one album that a lot of fans aren't that into and an album they just toured on. So frankly, I don't think that tour is going to happen. The other tour they could do is another retrospective tour, which would mean technically going from hybrid tour to classic tour, which really isn't how Maiden does it, but we'll poke at the idea just for this video. So far, the retrospective tours they have done is the 2008 Summer Back in Time tour focusing on Powerslave, the 2012 Maiden England tour focusing on Seventh Son of Seventh Son, the 2023 Hybrid Future Past tour focusing on Summertime along with Senjutsu, and the 2005 Early Days tour primarily focusing on the first two albums, but exclusively playing the first four albums. So with that, in my mind, the likely options end up turning into The Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, or Brave New World. The only issue with that is The Number of the Beast has got a lot of attention on various tours. It got its own hybrid tour along with the Matter of Life and Death album. And as I said earlier, it was a part of the Eddie Rips Up the World tour where they did kind of focus on the Number of the Beast album. Peace of Mind falls into a similar issue because it was a part of that 2005 tour. It was heavily played on the first Legacy of the Beast tour, which is also the 35th anniversary of Peace of Mind. And as an era sort of thing, it was decently acknowledged during the Summer Back in Time tour. I'm gonna take a quick little pause right now and just say I just got back from vacation. I definitely picked something up when I was in Toronto, and my voice is doing its best right now, so we're just gonna keep chugging along. So we're gonna knock out The Number of the Beast and Peace of Mind. I don't think for a second it's gonna be a 90s tour. I think that they wanted to do that, they had the time, that time's kind of done. So I think that tour is out. They could very well do the Final Frontier Book of Souls Senjutsu tour, but again, they've just played Senjutsu. Bruce kind of said the Book of Souls wasn't his favorite album ever. And I think a lot of people are very on the fence with the Final Frontier. Brave New World, on the other hand, is the reunion album. It is, as we speak right now, 25 years old, which makes it well old enough to get a retrospective tour. And I do think it is truly loved by a lot of fans. So if we are indeed getting a retrospective tour, I think the next one's going to be on Brave New World. But again, that's the idea of going into a classic tour after a classic tour. So I do kind of think that the next thing we're getting for 2027 is going to be a new album tour, which is going to be extremely interesting because they have said Nico McBrain is not out of Iron Maiden. He's just retired from touring, which means Nico could very well be a part of this new album. But also, if they're really enjoying their time with Simon Dawson, it's more than likely that Simon might actually be invited onto this new album. I think it'd be very cool and extremely respectful if they had like 5 songs with Nico on it, but also 5 songs with Simon on it, and we could really see the different drumming styles, and we could probably also get very different songs than we kind of ever have with Iron Maiden on any previous studio album, or at least since the Number of the Beast album. But with that, I think it also goes into a very good question of, would this new album tour be a hybrid tour? Let's face it, they're not getting any younger, and if they have more plans they want to do, they gotta get to them. So if they did a new album tour, they go out, spend the 2 years on the road, promote the new album, play some cool stuff, and then they go on to a new classics tour, which in this particular case, this new classics tour would be 2029. But if they did a hybrid tour on this new album, and for now, let's just say Brave New World, it'd be a great way to kind of streamline things, and you go into a new concept of a classics tour after that. But those are just my ideas, and here's my thoughts towards what I truly think it's going to be. There's been speculation for a long time that Iron Maiden's been preparing for a new studio album, because despite Senjutsu came out in 2021, it was written in 2019, and there was always rumor that on the 2020 leg of the tour, they were going to play a new song. Frankly, the moment that the pandemic happened, they actually planned on changing the set list to incorporate the Senjutsu songs into the Legacy of the Beast tour. So at this point, I do think Iron Maiden is both more than due for a new album, but also probably excited to get back to the studio to go make one. Well, maybe not Steve, but everyone else. So what's it going to be? I think it's going to be a new album. I think it's going to be either a very late 2026 release or a summer 2027 release, but with a new album tour starting in the spring of 2027. But that's my theories, and as always, I want to know, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a new album? Do you think it's going to be a hybrid tour? Do you think it's going to be a classics tour? If you say retirement, I want you to just post a pineapple in the comments. I'm sick of hearing the word retirement come up, but I want to know, what do you think regardless? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, join the U scene. I did a post a couple times a week, and I'll see you later.